Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to the Otakuology Podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike, and with me, as always, is my buddy, my partner, my heterosexual life partner, my podcast partner, Jen.
Yeah!
How's it going?
Good.
That's good to hear. Today, we're taking a little detour and talking about Creature Commandos Episode 1. We are putting that in our artillery, our arsenal of things to talk about. So
I know, you know what we're going to have to add in, too, that you've already said no, but because you put this in there, you're going to have to say yes.
What?
We're going to have to definitely cover Vox Machina.
I don't want to cover Vox Machina.
Forget you, buddy.
I don't have Amazon Prime.
That's okay. I know plenty of people that have Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, I can't cover it. I'm sorry.
I know plenty of people that have Amazon Prime. I got you.
I can't do it. I can't do Vox Machina.
Because where did you watch this at? I feel like I watched it on Prime.
On HBO, where it is?
On Max?
Yeah.
I think that's where I watched Vox Machina.
No, Vox Machina is on Amazon.
I think you're full of shit.
No, I'm not. Look it up.
Okay.
Look it up. But today we're talking about episode 1 of Creature Commandos. The Collywobbles is what it's called. Were you ready for what?
Hey, buddy, you gotta say that with the oomph.
What did I say? Collywobbles?
Yeah, there you go.
Collywobbles.
Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah, bring the spirit.
But this, what?
I was like, yeah, that's what I needed. Now the show's set.
But this picks up after the events of The Suicide Squad as well as Peacemaker Season 1. And we pick up with Amanda Waller and
Is there a Peacemaker Season 2?
There will be a Peacemaker Season 2, actually.
Oh, I was like, no, well, it's not out yet.
Yeah, because so spoilers, Rick Flag Sr., who is in this show, is going to be the protagonist in Peacemaker Season 2. Because Peacemaker killed Rick Flag Jr.
Yeah.
Because this is technically canon in the new DCU. Which also the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are canon, but nothing else I think is not canon.
I was like, I don't think they really want to make I don't think they want to take Rick Flag out. That's why they had a senior. I was like, when I heard him say the name, I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's the guy that died. And they said
Rick Flag died.
Then they said senior, and I was like, what kind of fucking crap? What's the dude's name? Eye patch.
What?
Shit.
What?
Eye patch. They both wear eye patches.
Oh, Nick Fury?
Nick Fury, yeah. It's like
Nick Fury Sr., Nick Fury Jr.?
Yeah, no, it's like, that's what the fuck they're doing in this.
I don't know about that in particular, because I believe Rick Flag Sr., I think so Rick Flag Sr.'s first appearance was in Secret Origins number 14 of May 1987. So he was around he's been around, you know. He's not like a new made up character and whatnot. But yeah, this picks up after those events, and we see Rick Flag Sr. and Amanda Waller, who has been ousted by the government basically because of what her daughter did at the end of Peacemaker Season 1. We found out that they're no longer allowed to use humans for their Black Ops projects.
Their experimentations.
And we find out that what were they called? Oh man, I gotta look it up because I forgot what they were called.
We find out the weasel's still not getting out.
So they are called the Sons of Thanaskura, and they are being led by Cersei, which I didn't know we were saying Cersei wrong. Like, apparently it's Cersei, not Cersei.
They're just saying it in this that way.
Really? Because I want to feel like I'm saying it wrong.
No.
Cersei, like with a little bit of attitude. And we find
Well,
out that.
you also got to realize part of the people that are saying it,
Oh,
which I love the genre of it, that you have like this basically like Norse goddess and her,
she's not Norse, she's Greek. She's just like,
well, you know what I'm saying? So it's this goddess and her troop of people are all like these big burly redneck guys.
so
And
they're
I was like,
based.
this is great. Like, I don't know
So,
why.
so talk about like toxic masculinity right off the top, my dude.
Right.
These guys are like, oh man, why can't we go to Thanaskira just because it's an all ladies place? Why do all the ladies get all the cool waterfalls? I want cool waterfalls.
Right.
And so they're trying to take over this place called Pokolistan. Is that how you say it?
I think it's Pokolistan.
Pokolistan? Okay, I fucked that up then. And they're like, yeah, once we take this over, like, according to Cersei, we're going to be getting into Thanaskira. We need to take our rightful place on Thanaskira, which may or may not exist. I'm guessing it probably exists because they said it might not exist.
Oh, I'm sure it exists.
In this, you know.
But I'm really wondering on this one if Cersei has like her like male harem or whatever.
I mean, I feel like she does with the sons of Thanaskira.
Because I mean, they're all, you know, like all her whole militia of guys are all guys. So
I know they're all good. They're all dudes, and they're like, I'm like, like, bunch of fucking neck beards. That's what it made. That's what it looked like. Like these guys, like simping over like Cersei and like the promises that she makes, and it's very much like I don't want to say like I don't know. Like, do you remember? It's like kind of reminds me of like the Proud Boys, if you remember that. How they were? Do you remember that part?
no.
Like in like a couple years ago, these guys like protested and stuff with like tiki torches. I don't remember what they were protesting, but like they were kind of like all a bunch of like fucking bigots and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what this kind of reminded me of, in a sense, because like they were militarizing and stuff like that, almost like the Klan or like a neo-Nazi type of thing.
Okay.
Going on, but yeah, this is going on, and they have to. Well, Waller says they have to put a stop to this because Pokolistan is going to. They're basically trying to, I guess, auction off or like sell off their mineral rights or something, or their oil rights, exactly, because they're not like a very like popular country.
They're just tiny.
They're a tiny country.
They still have their a queen.
Yeah, they do. And we don't know what exactly or why Cersei is trying to get to this country.
Their armor seems really high tech, though.
It does seem really high tech, I have to say.
Well, I know why Cersei's trying to get to this country.
Why?
Because that's how the writers made it, okay?
I mean, yeah, okay, but like we don't know. But like they don't give us like a reason yet to like, oh, why is she doing this? You know? Which I have to say, this first episode felt very Suicide Squad. Like almost to a T, I feel like.
I agree. I think it's because it's the team aspect of not working together.
Yeah, and you know, them working for like the quote government.
Yeah,
but I think, don't quote me on this, but I think the Creature Commandos might have came before the Suicide Squad in like comic book continuity. But I could be wrong. Exactly.
Oh, I have no clue.
Yeah.
Look it up.
I will look it up right now. Let me go. You continue to talk and I'll look it up.
Yeah, well, so we get to see the Weasel again.
We do. Start naming off all the people who showed up.
And So we have him, which obviously, like that's weird. I do like we get a little more of his backstory though, because they talk about we have a part with Rick Flag Senior where he's talking about with the weasels running around in this courtyard, and he goes, "You
Yeah.
think such a like free like spirited guy like him would kill all these kids?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, he did kill all these
He did.
kids."
He did
Like,
kill all the kids, you know.
and then people like slowly like start looking at him weird, like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, no, that was crazy. In
So
that part,
and
because
then
he doesn't come off as like a bad character in a sense.
no,
He
no.
kind of comes off as like a freaking goofball,
Yeah, yeah.
which I never
And
read. I never read
well,
any Weasel stuff in the comics, so I don't really know
well,
much about him.
and I really want to know like how true that is, because I feel like it would be better that he's a supervillain because he's an animal and maybe he just goes and steals like junk food all the time, so they have to keep throwing him back and they get tired of him finally, like, well, what are we supposed to do? Like, we can't do anything with him. He's a
Yeah,
you know but they don't give him that. They give him he killed all these kids.
we
So
also find out that he's one of the only surviving members of the Suicide Squad.
yeah, yeah,
Because he is one of the only surviving members, other than the people who survived at the very end.
yeah.
You know,
Well, and
and
the people that weren't elected into the Suicide Squad,
yeah,
like
obviously,
the
yeah,
runner-ups, I guess.
yeah,
And then we have Dr. Phosphorus, which makes me laugh because there's a game that I've been playing called Wild Bastards.
uh huh,
That's a kind of like a space cowboy game.
yeah.
And the guy in that, his name is Phosphorus, and
Really,
he actually looks the same, but more of a cowboy.
for a moment, I thought he was Blight from Batman Beyond, but
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
yeah, but but I was like, oh no, it's Doctor Phosphorus, which it's fine, you know,
Yeah,
which he's an interesting addition to the Creature Commandos.
yeah, because
Cool.
he's not an original group person, right?
No, I don't think he's original to the Creature Commandos. I think the only one who's technically original who is on the team at the moment, is I think
The
he came
bride.
in. I think he came in like second iteration of the group is like GI Robot.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, unless you don't count Frankenstein, because Frankenstein was an original member of the Creature Commandos. I keep wanting to say Suicide Squad for some reason,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. I feel like it'd be really cool, like if you did a crossover with Marvel and it was like Suicide or not Suicide Squad, Jesus, Creature Commandos meets like what is it called? With like Werewolf by Night and Elsa
oh, the
Bloodstone.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
kind of cool.
I think that might be cool. I mean, the bump of the night stuff, very
Yeah.
similar.
So Dr. Phosphorus, then like you said, GI Robot, which
Which I think he's GI Robot number 2,
okay,
because he has like a 2 on his helmet. Because there was a second GI Robot. The first one, like I think, like blew up or something in continuity.
maybe we'll know more as we
Yeah,
go on. I just think it's funny, like everywhere he looks, he's like,
it's like
are those
Nazi. Well,
are those
Nazis.
are those Nazis? They have to be
Nazis.
Nazis.
I love
Like,
when he's playing Jenga with Dr. Phosphorus.
and he
And
makes
he's
the swastika sign. I was like, is he supposed to be a German robot? And then I started talking more, and I went, oh no, okay, he's an American robot for like World War II. He
and all
doesn't
he
like that
all
stuff.
he cares about is killing Nazis.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
hasn't killed a Nazi for like 73 years, I think it was.
yeah. Like 73 years, 3 months, and 26 minutes.
Yeah. Which I love when he's playing Jenga and he sees the swastika in the Jenga stack, and like
Yeah.
he like shoots it with his gun arm, and he's like, "Oh my
Well,
god, I killed the Nazis."
and the funny thing is, you think that they would allow him to not have bullets or anything like
Yeah.
that, and like he keeps popping up, and nobody says shit about it, and I'm like,
Well, at one point, I think Rick's like, "Hey, put the gun arm away."
yeah, yeah, but nobody really cares that he's got it, like it's not
Yeah,
locked up or anything. So I think that's really funny. I like him being in the group. Like the group's pretty unique, I have to say.
they are.
Because in some stuff with the Suicide Squad one and
It can get kind of samey,
yeah, and
you
I mean
know.
like you just or they give you like a random person like that they've made up to like progress the story, and you're like, this
Yeah,
kind of seems like another character already.
yeah.
Like Bloodsport and the other one.
Hey,
What?
Bloodsport was cool. Okay,
He
he
was like
was
Slade. He was like a Slade. Okay,
he
the
was
joke was made.
Bloodsport was way cooler than Deadshot. Okay,
Hey,
at least Bloodsport took out Superman. Just saying.
they made jokes about it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I know, but I mean, Bloodsport was fucking cool.
yeah. And then we have the bride.
The bride, who is a not so she originally appeared in Agents of Shade. I don't remember what number, but that's when she first appeared in the
Yeah,
Creature Commandos.
yeah.
Um,
And then
which
we have
I think it's interesting that they use the bride
yeah.
instead of Frankenstein, but Frankenstein still is in the show. He's just not a part of the Creature Commandos.
Well, and I think what they're gonna do is she's gonna be his tie-in to join
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Creature Commandos. So,
But I like the bride. The bride's cool.
oh yeah, she's got a mouth on her.
Oh yeah, yeah. There are times in this where like the way she posed or the way she like reacted with her face or something, where
Yeah,
I was like, did Studio Trigger animate this? Because it was very reminiscent of like cyberpunk and stuff like that, like the way they animated like animation looked and stuff.
yeah.
Which I don't think it was, but that's what it reminded me of. It was like the Studio Trigger like mannerisms.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, we have the bride, and they don't know what her
and
real
then,
name is,
and then we're sure that we'll get Frankenstein at some point because
which we do.
he does make a little appearance at the end of this.
Yes.
And then we have Nina, which she doesn't really have anything. She really reminds me of Abe Sapien from
No. Yeah.
Hellboy.
Yep. Abe Sapien. Except she is a water like telekinetic. I think.
Same thing as Abe Sapien, okay?
Did Abe actually? I don't know if Abe actually has like water like telekinetic powers.
You mean like to control water?
Yeah, like she can like she has telekinesis over water.
Uh, he doesn't have that, but he does have like
I know he can breathe underwater.
yeah, he can do that and swim faster,
Yeah,
and he can kind of heal faster,
yeah.
and he's got it's not telekinesis.
He's
He's a
got
telepath.
he can like talk underwater. I think he can, like he's like an empath too. I think.
Yeah, because like in the movie where he touched the door and he could be
Yeah,
like, "Oh my god, I can tell where this thing is in here," and he would know where things were by like the feel of it before.
or like he could like feel something in people.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I mean she definitely feels like an Abe Sapien like type of character.
yeah,
If Abe got kind of gender swapped.
I don't know. I mean, at times I do feel like she's got more like humanity than Abe because Abe's
A little
just
bit,
kind of
yeah.
like being like, "Oh yeah," but like the whole like in this when she's in the tub like for nap time or for
Oh
sleeping,
yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna say,
and then she
she
kind of
kind of looks good without her suit on.
and then she kind of leaned up or whatever, and she's still bashful about her
Yeah,
appearance. So she does still have like more human mannerisms of things than
yeah,
Abe does. I feel like,
yeah. And then we get is that everybody who's on the team?
yeah, because we've already said Rick.
Yeah, yeah. And so they get them together and they're like, hey, look, this is what is gonna happen. We're going on a mission to Pokolistan or whatever it is. But at first they tried to kill Rick and Waller at first, which doesn't work at all. Which
Shit
is
wasn't gonna happen. We know she wasn't gonna let it happen.
no. Waller had her finger on the button, And basically, Rick tells them, "Hey, this is what we got to do. We have to stop these guys. We need to protect like the princess and stuff." And Weasel has flashbacks of the Suicide Squad from the Suicide Squad.
Oh, I
He,
haven't seen that yet.
yeah, you haven't seen the Suicide Squad?
No, I haven't seen him have the flashbacks yet.
So no, he has like PTSD when he's on the plane. He's like chewing on a belt and stuff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because they're like, why is he doing that? And they're like, oh, he had a bad experience on the same like whatever Cessna or whatever the fuck they were on.
Okay.
I don't remember what they were
Yeah.
on.
That's one thing I am trying to like keep in mind is like catching references of
Yeah,
things, and some of them just don't stick. Like I know where they brought up the, well, we couldn't do anything after da 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 when Starro was here, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, well, that's a pretty good reference. I know what we're talking
yeah.
about.
Which I just gotta say, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball a little bit. Why wasn't King Shark in this? He's a monster.
Hey, buddy, don't ask me that.
I mean, he's on the Harley Quinn show. Why can't he be on the Creature Commandos?
Maybe that's why the continuity of where he was.
He was on like he was like the best part, one of the best parts of the Suicide Squad. Which the Harley Quinn show is not in continuity with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I have no clue what they're going to do for, or what it is for any of that then.
Yeah. So what happens when they land? Do you remember?
Uh, when they land,
Yeah, they land in Pokolistan.
then you have the group of people that come and get them, the knights,
Then the Knights of Pokolistan.
and they're like, "Oh, hey,
Hey,
you're here from Pokolistan."
they're very high tech.
They are. It throws me off big time when you see like what they have and how happy-go-lucky they are.
And then you get like a juxtaposition of like how the castle is and stuff and whatnot, and later on like what the place actually looks like,
Yeah,
like the town and stuff that's around it, and like how like shitty it looks.
yeah.
It
You
reminds
ain't
me of
joking.
what?
I said, "Yeah, you ain't joking."
It looks bad. Which the Knights of Pokolistan have very good pop culture references.
Oh my god.
They're so fucking out of date.
Yeah,
What's
right,
up?
right. But I mean, it really worked out. I think with a lot of stuff with Pokolistan, they are playing to an older audience. So
Yeah, yeah.
because almost all the jokes are stuff that the knight said, like I knew the reference, and I was
Like,
like,
what's up? Where's the beef?
yeah, I was like, would somebody else get this? Like a younger kid?
I don't know. I don't think so. Which a younger kid should not be watching this show. This show is so adult.
I mean, well, younger in like their 20s, you know,
I
like they
guess,
should know
yeah.
it.
I get maybe in their 20s. Yeah, I don't think they would. So I don't think anybody says "what's up" anymore.
What is what's
What
up
is
here?
that? What is up? And they're like, they play a joke on Rick, where
Yeah.
Rick meets the princess. I don't remember what the princess's name is, but they
Uh,
had this funny thing where they were coming into like the castle, and they make a
Ilana.
Ilana, is that her name?
Yeah.
They see pictures of like the previous like rulers, and they're like, things haven't gone up in the gene pool and whatnot because they look rough.
Well, they took all the pictures of them when they were old.
I know, but they look rough. Like I don't know if they were old or not when they took the pictures, but
Yeah, almost all the pictures on the wall, they were old ladies.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the way her grandma or her mom or whoever looks like at the table where she's drooling and everything,
Yeah.
that's how some of the pictures looked.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe a little bit before that, before the dementia kicked in, but like that's what it looked like, okay? And then she just comes and she's blonde with, you know, this
Big
purple dress on.
tits.
Yeah.
She's got a body. She's
And of
a
course, you know, she goes, "Well, Rick, I'll be the welcoming committee."
yeah, and then Rick kind of like bows to her, and then they're like, we're gonna kill you because you didn't do the right bow," which was funny because they're all like, what the fuck? I didn't mean to do anything," and they're like, "Haha, we got you."
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then like
We played
even like
joke.
even like later on where she brings up how all the guys that are there like don't know anything or aren't like
Yeah.
learned in the ways, and she goes, she comes on a Rick real bad.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Because we go to the dinner table, where they're sitting at the dinner table. Poor GI Robot has nothing to eat. Then they ask him to go get some like oil or something.
And he's like, "Can you bring him some
Can
oil,
you bring him
please?
some oil? I felt so bad for GI Robot.
Some diesel."
But yeah, we get the scene where like, oh, what was her name? I forgot her name. The
Ilana?
princess, Ilana.
Yeah.
Ilana is like with the queen. I would say something is fucking up with this family because like, or something's going on that we don't know about. Because I was like, why isn't she fucking dead? like
I I just think they were waiting for her to die.
I feel like Ilana has something is a miss. I feel like she could possibly be a bad guy. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just kind of got that reference. She's like, yeah, I'm just waiting for her to die, type of thing.
Yeah.
Which she's like keeping her around for a reason. That we don't know about, because the bride kind of like looks at her weird. Well, like she like notices something, that I guess we don't notice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're having fun and like they go out into the courtyard and stuff and kind of party and they're singing and stuff and relaxing and uh the princess Ileana, whatever the fuck her name is, she starts talking to Rick Flag and she's like, oh, I like rock and roll and this and that. And she's like, hey, you want to come see this 500-year-old armoire?
Right.
Which there was this little detail that they
Oof.
added into the.
And then she's like, here's the armoire right here, and drops her dress.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, she is not doing a very good job of like hiding. Like she's fucking thirsty. She was so thirsty for Rick, and I
Yeah.
was, oh, like where are we going with this? Like, is he gonna go for it?
Well, I mean, if you watch the little thing from talking about the next episode, there is a what sounds like a scene.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, but yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna go prepare for tomorrow. We're gonna put GI Robot outside your door, so nothing's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, and Weasel
And Weasel's just there, and GI Robot is just
sleeping on the carpet.
he's sleeping on the
Yeah,
carpet.
I thought it was really funny with GI Robot, like
He's telling his whole history.
To me, I felt it was like counting sheep, GI Robot style.
Yeah,
Because it was like in 1876, I killed such and such Nazis at da 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 battle and da 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 at 17 July 1776, I killed da 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 da. I was like, this must be like if GI Robot was gonna put a kid to sleep.
There was this one part that I really liked before when they were in like the courtyard, which I forgot to mention, where GI Robot was talking to Nina, and GI Robot was like, Waller said I could go kill Nazis. I haven't killed Nazis for 37 years, 73 years or something. Yeah. And he's like, will you kill Nazis with me, Miss Nina? I would love a friend to kill Nazis with. I feel like that was such a heartfelt moment. I feel like,
oh, it was so weird.
It was so cute.
It was so weird.
I loved it. And she was like, yeah, sure, I'll kill Nazis with you. And she kind of like did a little fist bump type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they zinged a little bit, possibly, and they might be an item. GI Robot and Nina.
Definitely not.
But yeah. GI Robot, he is counting sheep with the princess. And we get this scene where where the bride and Nina end up leaving the premises. Well, the bride does, and Nina follows her, I believe. And
Yeah.
I, I love this scene where they go and she accosts the guard for money. And she's like, "Give me your ruple. Just give me money." He's like, "Our money is not ruples."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I know. I was trying to insult you. Give me your money."
Yeah.
Why didn't
Yeah.
he just call for other guards to show up? Like, he wasn't doing his job.
Well, I don't think he was supposed to keep him there because, whenever the bride started jumping down and doing all that other stuff, and then
Uh-huh.
Nina walked down and she goes, uh, the guards are just around patrolling. Like, they don't care where we're at, and she had just walked down the stairs, and I was like, how did you get down
But I
here?
don't think they were supposed to leave like the premises as a thing.
I just think they weren't supposed to leave the premises because of Rick
Okay.
and what's her face. I don't think the guards cared.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
then we get this scene where Rick is fast asleep, and good old Dr. Phosphorus, for some reason, cannot sleep. And he goes into Rick's room and was looking for the device that could possibly disable, like, I guess, the chip that's inside of him so he can break free and go away, which does not work well for Dr. Phosphorus at all.
Nope.
Nope. Because we get this really cool fight between Rick and Dr. Phosphorus. I
Yeah, we
love
do.
this fight was fucking amazing. Like all the little details of like Rick punching him and he gets like the burns on his skin from touching Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah, yeah,
Which we gotta mention that he's radioactive
yeah,
and he's a skeleton.
yeah,
Which I just love the fight scene and like all the little details they put in, like Rick trying to put out the fire, getting burnt, Dr. Phosphorus and Rick falling through the floor, fighting in the kitchen and stuff. The one I really liked was when he put on the oven mitt so he
yeah.
could
That was really good.
so he could grab Dr. Phosphorus and smash him around.
And then he had the frying pan.
Yeah, he had a frying pan
I
too.
was like,
Yeah,
oh my god, what?
yeah, but we,
It was really good just how all that stuff like played
yeah,
out.
it was very well animated.
Yeah,
But I love the scene where, like, uh, the princess, I don't even remember what the fuck her name is. The princess comes in.
Ileana.
Ileana. That's how much I know her is fucking princess. Ileana shows up. She's like, "Oh, Rick, what's going on?" And because they're fighting over like the button thing that Rick has.
Yeah,
And he tells Dr. Phosphorus, he's like, "What are you doing? Like, even if you got away, like people can still find you. A Waller will still find you and take you out." He's like, "I don't want to hurt you or anything. Like, we're on the same
is it?
freaking team."
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, I completely heard that all that different.
Yeah. So like,
I heard him tell Phosphorus, he was like, "Do you really think Waller would give me the real remote for y'all or something?"
yeah. Like
Like,
he said there were other remotes.
yeah.
Like other people had remotes.
And then he was
And
like, "We're on the same team. Why would I hurt
yeah.
you?"
He's like, "Why would I hurt you? We're on the same team." And
Yeah,
we find out that, which I like this scene. I really do, because I feel like it's a bonding moment in a sense for Rick and like Dr. Phosphorus
yeah,
in a way, because they just get thrusted on this team together. And he has to work with these like quote criminals or bad guys, whatever you want to call them. I don't know if they would be classified necessarily as bad guys. Well, Weasel is for sure.
supposedly from what we've
Supposedly.
heard. From what we've heard,
Well, yeah. Um, but Nina and the bride go off. They get a cab and they go to this big like mansion. It's a gloomy mansion. And we find out this is where the bride was made. Like it's like Frankenstein's like manor or whatever.
yeah.
And did you catch this weird cameo thing that they put in?
Which one?
So this thing where they put in where like we see this house in the distance and this old woman is there and she's like looking through the window and stuff as like the bride is trying to break into the castle.
Okay.
And So she goes to get her phone and she like unlocks it and it's a picture of Zac Efron shirtless. For I don't know why, but it's Zac Efron shirtless.
I don't think I caught that.
Yes, you should go back and just look for it. It's weird.
Well, that sounds weird.
Yeah, it's so weird. And like she calls and we see this like party boat and the guy answers who on the party boat with all these beautiful women and stuff. And he's like, she's like, oh, somebody's here. You know, I think we found her. And he's like, oh, my bride. And then we find out it's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
We find out it's Frankenstein. And we're like, oh my God, it's Frankenstein wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. Oh man, and that was funny because you start going to the boat, and there's all these like girls that are dancing like scantily clad and all this other
Yeah.
stuff, and then they just zoom in, and it's Frankenstein, this big beefy guy sitting there. Oh, my bride, and you're like, the hell?
Yeah, like what's going on here? Why is Frankenstein on a party boat?
Yeah.
Which, because I don't think they mentioned Frankenstein at all.
No, he wasn't brought up. He's only in the title sequence.
Yeah, he's only in the title sequence.
For the opener. So that's kind of why I think we'll probably have him where he comes back and he joins them just because of the bride. But other than that, I don't think anything else. I mean, you know,
I wonder if he's gonna get Excalibur. Because in the comics he carries around Excalibur.
I have no clue. I mean, I don't know how much they'll change it from like what they've done with the comic book.
Yeah.
Because like what you said, and in different renditions from like what I've read, like they're using different people from different genres, or not different genres, from different what is it? Like adaptations of different things of them.
Yeah.
Like what the modern team is of them, and what people came from, like Agents of Shade and things like that. So I don't know how true they will stick to different things with it, because it does seem like out of that from like the original team and the modern team.
Yeah, because the original team had like a werewolf guy and a vampire guy on it.
Yeah, but like the original has, like we were talking about, the GI robot, and Frankenstein's from more of like the Shade crew, so, and of course the bride. So I mean, some of them I don't exactly know, because I know a handful of them. It seems like they're just using the characters in name
But I mean,
only.
I like what they've done though.
Yeah.
Like
And
I like what they've done, and they've kind of picked and choose like who they wanted.
yeah. Well, and then they, have Dr. Phosphorus in there, and from what research I've done, he's not ever mentioned.
He's like a Batman villain.
Yeah,
I think
he's just like never been mentioned, and then they kind of put the pretty bow on top with Rick. So
Rick Flag Senior, which I'm curious to see if they get the same guy who voiced him to be Rick Flag Senior when Peacemaker shows up, like being Peacemaker season 2. Because it's the guy who played Crossbones in Captain America, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I know him from Crixus, I think is the guy's name from Spartacus.
Okay.
That's where I originally.
I think his name's like Frank Barlow. I think his name is.
That sounds right.
The actor.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yeah, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by this.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of glad DC led with this for their like introduction to their new DC universe.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. This first episode was so much fun.
Well, and they got a good lineup of actors / voice actors that are doing all the stuff too. So, I think that'll be another good thing that we have going forward with these as well.
Yeah. I would love to see what happens if they bring them into the live action. Like, what if they get so popular? Like, oh yeah, let's bring the Creature Commandos in, like we brought the Suicide Squad in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I would like to see a Suicide Squad versus Creature Commandos.
The Weasel's like, I don't know
I don't know whose team I should be on.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which
Yeah.
team to fight on. The hell?
But
What am I
yeah.
supposed to do?
No, this definitely gets a 5-star for me. I loved it. I loved it so much.
This first one I'm going to say 5 as well because it was really good.
It was strong.
But I do feel like for us, you in particular, I think need a 4.5 star.
Why?
Because you go, oh, we're just going to cover one episode, and I get done with this, and I'm like, that seems like it went by really fast.
It does go by really fast.
I think you're just playing with my emotions because we're watching Bubblegum Crisis, which is like an hour, and I'm like, I could watch 3 Creature Commando episodes compared to that.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
So,
like, I feel like this has really good pacing.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to watch the next episode.
See,
and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Like I told you when I was getting on, and I was like, well, you said only watch the first one.
And I hope Nazis end up showing up in the present, because I want G.I. Robot to kill Nazis with Nina.
Well, if you watch the end of the thing, then you know a little bit.
What happens?
Rick or G.I. Robot asks, are there any Nazis for him to kill? And it's like the Sons of Cersei.
Oh, really?
And Rick Flag goes, yeah, G.I. Robot, those are the Nazis right there. And he goes, oh, goody. And he then the gun goes out.
I must have missed that. I'll have to go back and see that.
Yeah, it's for stay tuned for episode 2. And then it gives you the preview.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's on. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, man.
How did they know I wanted this already?
You fulfilled my wish.
Right.
I just want to see G.I. Robot kill bad people.
But it's so funny because he's like, are there Nazis? If they don't have a symbol, he has to ask, are there Nazis for me to kill? And then just be like, yeah, those guys over there. Okay.
Yeah, let's go. And he just gets so happy when Nazis are around.
Oh, yeah, I feel like he's the most positive motherfucker in the group. Without even trying.
Yeah.
It's probably a toss-up between him and Weasel.
Yeah, Weasel.
Carefree, everything
else.
That's true.
Yeah, I love Dr. Phosphorus, too. His comedic timing's pretty fun. When they're on the plane, she asks if he's smiling. The bride does. He's like, yes, I'm smiling. You can't see it.
Yeah.
And he's like, that was sarcasm.
And somebody asked him something, and it's like, oh, can you look away? He goes, I am.
I am looking away. Yeah.
So
no, this was definitely fun, and I can't wait to cover more of it.
Yeah.
Going forward. But yeah, thanks for watching or listening on our Spotify, Apple Podcast, or whatever podcast platform you choose, or YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know what you think. Give us your thoughts on Creature Commandos or anything else that we covered so far.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you guys on the next podcast.
See you next Tuesday.